this game, but maybe next time for you. Oh, I need to enable the timer and, yeah, put it in a place where I can see it. So it's just going to be one run of Hue Warpless Any Percent, a category that was just added earlier tonight that I actually asked for, because I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Just do one run of this, solid gold style, and then we'll move on to other things. So we'll see how this goes. I don't even have to worry about the map, because we're not going to be using it.
Oh, I've had the most dreadful luck. I feel terrible that you've been left alone all this time.
And I think I think they'll all be pretty much right in front of me anyway, but I want to, get all of the letters from Mom. Like, that one there I could have skipped, and there's the one in the university that I can skip. But I don't want to this time.
Something went wrong. I turned a strange shade and became...
I think we got all the bunny hops
The ring, it fractured.
on the first
Scattering
part.
coloured shards far and wide. I stayed at home for many weeks, watching, waiting.
Yeah, my gold split for this in any percent is like a high
I
127,
couldn't speak to you, nor interact with
which is
anyone
also my
in the
PB
world.
split, which is a little
So
scary.
I left. I left for the university where I hid away the coloured tools I had created. I
Not
prayed
sure I'm going to want to run the 100% unless it gets routed, and I'm not sure I want to be the one to route it, but you never know. Like, we'll start right away with a letter from Mom that we almost never hear.
Since the beginning, we have pointed to the sky and declared it blue. It is this shared vision, this unquestioned understanding which connects us. But are you really seeing blue the same way I see it? Perhaps blue is nothing more than a shade of grey to you. Perhaps everyone in this world sees nothing but shades of grey. Don't you see, Hugh? This is why we're here.
We also have to wait for this guy to shuffle off. Let's see how much faster it is to warp. The rest of this segment will be the same as any percent.
When you enter a cave expecting a waterfall, the chances are your expectations...
So I'd be
will
surprised
be
if this
met.
first run is sub-hour.
If you discard those expectations, don't you think instead...
If for no other reason than it's a solid gold run and there's probably going to be tons of mistakes in it. But if it's a good run, it could be sub-hour.
Brink of unreality.
I mean, my PB for any percent is a good deal sub-hour at this point, so... I'd like to be able to offer this run in addition to regular any percent for SGDQ. Missed the bunny hop there. I think this run is a little more something that would be good to have as like a showcase for a marathon, because you do hear all the letters and the wonderful voice acting and the touching story. In any percent, the story is kind of chopped up. It's certainly a much better optimized speedrun, but for a viewer who isn't already familiar with the game, I think this run would be a better watch. Because the rooms themselves all have the same strats, and a lot of them are pretty amazing. Ah, come on. Let's see if we can get this. Yep. Yeah, see, like a decent split here in any percent is like maybe 414, I think. No. You know, it's like I want to be sub 4 minutes when I come in here, so like 4:18 is a good split here in any percent. And this certainly wasn't a horrendous segment, but just it shows that that's how much time the warp saves. About 15-ish seconds. And later warps will be just like that, if not more so.
Did you know, Hugh, that purple is at the very end of the visible spectrum? It's the hardest colour for our eyes to distinguish. Now,
still want to get these nice ladder bunny hops.
A colour beyond what we can actually perceive.
You like routing games more than running them? I mean, I have to really love a game to want to... I don't know that I've ever, you know, done like top to bottom routing on a game before. I like finding things to, you know, optimize what's already been laid out by the runners, if that makes sense. That I do enjoy, but starting from scratch, I wouldn't. Yeah, basically everything I play these days, I at least think about speedrunning. Even if it's not at the forefront. So certainly, I could play something that I have no intention of actually doing runs of myself. And I think like, oh, that would be good for a speedrun, yeah. So ordinarily we would warp there, but not in this category. Here's another letter.
The university gardens were bathed in an earthy orange light when I first met Dr. Gray. Summer had come and gone, and a cold autumnal crispness had caught me off guard. I sat on the grass, surrounded by my books and papers, when a cool breeze threatened to blow my notes across the lawn. A page escaped my reach and took flight. A man not much older than myself chased after it, catching it on his third or fourth attempt. I remember his gentle smile when he returned it. He started talking, and I was surprised that he had read my work in the university journal. He said he was a professor and that he hoped we could work together someday. It's funny, Hugh, how something so small can change so much.
So yeah, in any percent, we don't hear Dr. Gray's little origin to the story. We just hear this.
Dr. Gray soon became my assigned mentor.
That's the first mention we hear of Dr. Gray in the any percent run.
Our fires burnt bright.
So the story is very much chopped up.
It felt like we could achieve anything.
That room where the letter about meeting Dr. Gray plays, it clearly exists only to have that letter. And for, you know, for it to play while you're running through something, which I could see why that would be considered less interesting. But there's still, you know, technique on display there. You still got to get those bunny hops. And, you know, this route having so many more bunny hops than any percent would, you know, make them even more important. I think on the whole this run is easier than any percent, notwithstanding the extra puzzle rooms. Which I sure hope I remember how to do. But there's definitely spots where it would be more technical. Yeah, and in a really well-made RPG, don't you want to, you know, take your time, too? You know, enjoy all the all the thousands of hours of potential content there is out there. Like with the Skyrim. I've never actually seen a Skyrim speedrun, but I've heard it's pure snooze. It's actually going to be a Skyrim speedrun at AGDQ. And hopefully people will get hyped for that. I've just always heard Skyrim being the sort of game where, like, yeah, I've got 1,000 hours in Skyrim and I've never even done any story missions. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration, but also maybe not. Hey, Gotsumo. Oh, you missed the music. Too bad. Maybe next time. Yeah, we're just starting off with a solid gold run of Hugh Warpless. And then some other stuff. Don't know what else we'll do, but I definitely can stream for, you know, at least 3-4 hours. I think I have these shards in the wrong order. It's pink and then red. Lel. I'll fix that after the run. Yeah, I've heard the Skyrim speedrun is boring as hell. Frankly, the Fallout speedruns, you know, the Bethesda Fallouts, are pretty boring to me too, so no great shock. You know, no doubt they are
It's funny.
technically extremely well optimized and hard to achieve.
I do know that
They're just not much to look at.
I would compliment him on his work, and his cheeks would flush with a pinkness. He'd notice and change the subject, embarrassed. This work we were doing together, it didn't feel much like work anymore.
Yeah, I'm not very sharp right now, so I'm glad I'm not doing any percent. Now, Fallout 4, I haven't really seen too much of, you know, speedrunning-wise. Possibly because the game itself was very underwhelming for me. I was meaning more Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Yeah, Bubbles got snubbed for this AGDQ. I'm kinda surprised by that. His submissions were not that exciting, but I figured he'd get something in, even if it was just Isaac. Should I go for the new skip in the next room? Nobody's answering me, I'm scared. Alright, I'll try it. It's... If you get it second try, it's not really a time loss over doing the room the normal way. I say not really because it is about 1 second slower. Damn. Alright, if I fail it this time, I'll just do the normal solution. There we go. my god. Did you see what I just did there? That is like such a stupidly easy thing to do in any percent that I don't know that it saves time, but it makes the room about 50 times more consistent. Ah, how did I never see that before? Yeah, I call it a solid gold run, Katsumo, because every split is a gold split. And because solid gold run just sounds cool. Ah. No. There we go. This is a room I really should optimize. You know, figure out exactly where to push the pillars, like down to... I almost kept walking there. Down to, you know, the pixel or the sub-pixel if I can. Because it's probably seconds I'm wasting by pushing the pillars further than I have to. But I don't know that anybody's done that level of optimization with this room. So we'd ordinarily warp here, back to the cave entrance. This category only existed as of 4 hours ago, so no. It's a category I asked for, and in italics sufficed. I think it's a good category because it allows us to hear the full story of the game, which will make the speedrun more accessible to new viewers and potentially a better showcase for events like AGDQ.
The anger I felt when I was told my
Like,
experiments had gone too far.
we don't even hear half of the letters from Mom in the any percent run, so we don't, like, this is one we don't hear.
Our languages, for all our ways to communicate.
We don't really get the full story.
Simply cannot. It leads people to do things they regret.
And certainly Warps is
To break.
the optimized any percent, of course it is, but I think it could be cool to, you know, have a category where we hear the full story. Yeah, about half, maybe between a third and a half are skipped.
Once a seed has taken root, it
I don't know
doesn't
how many there are
take long for it to
precisely,
grow,
like 12, I
nurture
think.
and blossom into
So,
something beautiful.
yeah, 4, 5, 6 of them, something like that, are skipped.
And I wasn't prepared to let it wilt and die. The university claimed my experiments were unethical, that altering the fabric of our reality was dangerous. They were unflinching.
Like, in any percent, the first mention we have of Dr. Gray is, Dr. Gray soon became my assigned mentor. That's the first thing we hear Mom say about Dr. Gray, so it's just completely out of left field.
A small fishing village a boat ride from the university, where I hoped my reputation wouldn't precede me. You and I moved into a humble home, which is now where you spent most of your childhood.
Oh, what am I doing? Like I said, I think this is still fuck you. I think this is still, you know, potentially a really good run for events. Because all the rooms have the same strats, and some of these strats are really freaking cool. It just allows us to hear the full story. And, you know, makes traversal from one section to another a little bit longer, but As I say, there's a reason for that. It's hearing the story. Oh, come on. Didn't leave myself enough room. Bungled that just a little. Saw something there that I'm gonna wanna test. I've gotta stop doing that. It's faster just to run down, and I know it is, but I still jump off the edge of the shard platform every goddamn time.
Do you recall those dusty old tomes that used to sit on my desk? The ancient scriptures of civilizations lost. I spent hours poring over them, searching for clues to support my...
Those were really good ladder bunny ops.
Aside from their wonders, one thing stood out above all else. Blue, or specifically the absence of it. Other colours were detailed at length, but not blue. It was never mentioned at all. The word simply didn't exist. Could they not distinguish blue? Without a word to describe it,
Yeah.
how could we be sure they could see it at all?
Hey, Crash, congratulations. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, hope we'll be there at the same time. I'm only going to be there for the first half of the event. I can't afford a week's vacation, but I can afford a 4-day vacation, so I will be there from the 7th to the 10th. What is going on here? Ah. Oh, and then I messed that up. Lovely. This is a solution that I found in my casual playthrough. So every time I mess this up, I just feel like such a noob. Yeah, maybe you offered something that the other runner didn't. You know, don't sell yourself short. Or maybe RNGesus was just on your side. I saw Bullets mentioning on Twitter that a lot of people are giving him shit for getting accepted, and that made me sad because, you know, there's no reason to give people shit, and all I've gotten from anybody is love, which I'm very thankful for. Hey!
Sorry, it's not much, but helping is helping.
Thank you for that donation. It's not popping up in chat. Who did that? It's supposed to pop up in chat, and my stream window is blocked. Don't be shy. Just tell me who did that. Thank you for the $10. That's so nice of you. So kind. Thank you. And yes, the alert is supposed to be incredibly loud because donations are something to get hyped about.
Yellow daffodils poked through the dirt in our backyard. As time moved, my resentment slowly slipped away.
Bunny Hop's here.
Research from home. Without Dr.
Yeah, I have to partially block my stream screen to be able to see chat and the timer, which I think are a little bit more important than, you know, if there's alerts on screen. And the alerts on screen are supposed to be duplicated with chat alerts. I don't know why that one wasn't.
Last person left to see it. I was so excited for the both of us.
So I don't even know who to thank, but thank you, whoever. I could just check Streamlabs' website if I wasn't in the middle of a speedrun.
Tales of a long-lost civilization. They built great machines, pioneering electricity many years before we discovered it. Strangely, though, this civilization is said to have felt no pain. They knew of pain and observed it, yet could not experience it themselves. Explaining to them the sensation of pain is Like me explaining
Oh,
colour
it's 2
to
screens,
someone that
but
can only see.
the game takes up the entirety of the first screen.
I wonder, Hugh, if we will be able to share in our experiences of colour.
I'm not running no, you know, bleh, tiny screen resolution just to get more things on the screen. I want the game to look like it's supposed to. No, it's windowed. What am I doing? What the hell am I doing? I don't know why you would think it's not windowed. Is there... Lel? Yeah, I don't want to make the game windows too... yeah, that actually messes up the cycles in this room, so I need to go back and reset them. There. Oh! Just a little bit too fast shifting back. I'll just do this from the normal way now. Almost got the strat. Yeah, I have some games that their native resolution is, tiny as hell. That, maybe in those cases it's a little easier to see everything going on stream. Like The Deed, that's a really fun game that I would recommend to y'all. That has a very tiny native resolution. The children are out of bed. Can you hear them screaming? 'Cause I can. It is 10 minutes to 2 a.m. on a Thursday morning. Don't these children sleep? The answer to that, by the way, is no, they do not sleep. They are up and screaming right now at 10 minutes to 2. And, at 8 or... Oh, it has at times, Katsumo. So, I guess they're actually showing a little restraint. Like I say, they're up right now in what should be ungodly hours for a small child. They'll be up at 8 or 9, just full energy, screaming their lungs out again. So, I don't know. I don't know if my complaints about the children I'm forced to live with are approaching dead meme territory. But, yeah, it's not fun living with them. Oh yeah, I'm sure I was an absolute terror at that age myself. It's nothing personal. I just don't want to live with children. Hey, Pop Bub. If they were my children, maybe I'd feel differently. I hope I would feel differently. But I don't plan to ever have children. I always felt that way, and this experience has certainly solidified that, frame of mind. This next segment's going to be fun. You're going to see 3 puzzle rooms you may have never seen before, because they're skipped in the any percent run. That's why we have this extra split here for Lighthouse Exit. Yeah, thanks, Pop Bud. Yeah, I don't think my landlord is even like a super permissive parent. He disciplines those children a lot, and he, you know, he does spoil them a little, but you gotta spoil them a little, I'm sure.
The first time I wore the ring, I could see a coloured image of the sun. Aqua, purple, orange, pink, red, blue, yellow and green. Great fireworks played out across the backdrop to my reality. Was I dreaming? Was I alive?
You know, this is the main reason why I thought this run would not be sub-hour, because this segment is going to take, I think it's going to take a little over 4 minutes, optimally. So that's 4 minutes just added straight on to the any percent run, in addition to time lost from not warping, which could easily be another 4 minutes, and that right there is, you know, over an hour from a 52 PB.
But what followed affected me the most. After seeing in colour for the first time, when everything returned to normal, I could
Hello,
remember
Green.
in
Thank
colour.
you.
I had never before had a coloured memory.
So that one's pretty simple. This one is a lot more complicated. I hope I can remember how to do it. I think I do. Yeah, not too bad. This one is also pretty complicated. Damn it. Okay. No, we just want to move this block first. No, we don't. What am I doing? We want to move it with the with the lift platform on the other side. There we go. Yeah, you'll forgive me for being a bit rusty on this room. Oh, okay, 4 puzzle rooms we don't ordinarily see in any percent, because I've completely forgot about this one. Gotta go up and around. I haven't even thought about this room since probably my casual playthrough. That's how long ago it's been. Okay, that could have gone way worse.
The more I experienced, the more I realized how little I was experiencing. Seeing the world in true color was not true at all. The goalposts had just been moved a little further down an infinite playing field. These shades, they are a paradigm away from what I could ever imagine. And yet, how much more there must be? Is there ever such a thing as true reality, Hugh? Does truth exist in our minds the same way that color does? Maybe next I'll stumble upon a third dimension. Could you imagine?
A third dimension, can you imagine? Like Lil. That's how you're supposed to access the switch in the lighthouse. And I've toyed around a little with map warps to see if I could skip this. So far, no luck. So the rest of the run is basically the same as any percent.
If a tree stands in the woods and nobody's there to see it, does that tree exist? Does it have colour and form? Does it matter?
Freaking ate my jump inputs.
Does it have colour and form? Does it matter?
Oh my god. Thank you for not doing that in an any percent run.
And whilst I have trodden a lost, winding path, I feel no closer to the truth I was after.
Failures
No matter how
indeed.
long I chase the moon. If truth does exist in our minds, then I feel there may be one that I have neglected. All this time, you've been alone, and now uprooted, on a journey for my
I mean, it's still gonna be better than my first any percent
so
run,
I
that's
can
for
see the
sure.
world a little clearer.
My first any percent run was a 123.
In the end, it was worth it. For both of us.
I think that's the color. No, that's the color of the door. Yeah, that fourth puzzle room in the lighthouse section, I completely forgot that one existed. So I was kind of figuring it out on the fly. So that's why I say it could have gone way worse than it did. Still doing slow strats in this room because the fast strat is scary AF. interesting doing these later game rooms and not having any nerves. I usually have some nerves. Orange. Yeah, maybe the mic can only pick up when they choose to be loud, which is, you know, when they throw their temper tantrums. Because 98% of the time, no matter how much I complain about it, they're not trying to be loud and, you know, disruptive. They just are. But there are occasional times when they are intending to be loud and disruptive, and oh boy. What do you think? In before red globe skip first try? That would be such a meme. That was really the only thing wrong with my any percent PB, was that I tried that skip 3 times, never even got it, and just did the intended solution afterwards. How sick is it that the next time I do any percent, I could just do the intended solution in that room and save like 30 seconds? Actually, probably 45 seconds, because it was like a minute I lost in that room. I'll try for the skip a maximum of 1 time in this run. And then I will just do the intended solution. This right here would also be a warp, the newest warp in the run. You can actually do it from the very first frame you enter the door in the previous room. You don't even have to wait for this, you know, room in terms, you would call this a room in terms of game development, this room to load in. Why did I shift twice there?
Being back at the university has surfaced many memories, Hugh. I remember taking you to lectures. You would crawl to the front of the hall when I wasn't paying attention. Dr. Gray would look down from his lectern, and all his seriousness and authority would wash away. He would pick you up, walk over, and return you to my arms with a smile. Love cannot be measured, Hugh. Like colour, it exists inside of us. I buried it. I buried the love that I had for my own ends. I hope after all this, you will see my mistakes for what they are. Yours lovingly, Mark.
I always fuck this room up in runs. I did that right. And I second-guessed myself. I keep messing this one up, too. A zero pressure laser skip. Nice. Alright, if I get this, I'm actually gonna be a little bit mad. Well, maybe not with how I'm taking all this time to set it up. Alright. Whatever. Really could have used that in my any percent PV, but whatever. Ooh, that might not work. Okay, it worked. Okay. Would you go down the ladder? Jeez. Gonna move this a little closer. Actually, it looks like the time for this is going to be a little bit better than I thought it was. And I completely skipped a step. That sure doesn't help. I'd say glad that didn't happen in an any percent run, but this room has had some tragic mistakes in it in any percent runs, so it's certainly not immune to my buffoonery. So yeah, no sub hour, but it looks like it'll be maybe a 105, which is a little bit better than I was expecting. Ooh. My any percent PB is also missing that little piece of business. Saves about 10 seconds. Sweet. Okay, what? Yeah, I had that happen in some stupid run once. Yeah, I guess this will be about a 103. That's not too bad.
It has been too long. You have grown so much. Your mother, I tried to warn her. I thought that exiling her from the university would protect her, would protect you. She did not understand that some people choose not to see. I never stole the ring from her here. I tried to destroy it, before it destroyed her. I now know she had it under control. She knew what she was doing. My intervention shattered the ring, altering your mother's very fabric. My only reprieve is...
Yeah, did that happen in a PB, Katsumo? I don't think it did it?
experience her work.
Do you remember?
firsthand. We do not see things as they are here. Instead, we see them as we are. Your mother, she has been waiting for you. I expect...
Might have been that one Recce Pace run I lost at the end because of, a whole bunch of shit. But it went from, like, minus 34 at Courtyard 3, which itself was a choke, to plus 21 at the end. It was like a 54-21, which would be... I'd love to get that in a marathon, for sure. See, I don't think sub-hour in this is going to be quite as hard as I thought. And we may as well complete the story.
P.S. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can choose how you see it. Now you can see true colour. You must decide if it is for better or worse. I hope after all this, it is for the better.
Alright, so that's some splits to run against. If and when we do this category again, I think I'm much more likely to return to this category than I was to Glitchless Stick It to the Man, which I did exactly one run of as well. Hooray, world record, yeah. Woohoo.